My students were at ISTE 2010 in Denver in order to do a student showcase where they actually spoke about the projects that we were doing in class. There were 5 schools from 5 different states, and the students were creating an online digital journal that the students named the Coast to Coast Chronicles. And through tools such as Moodle and Skype, the students were able to go on and they were able to plan out and discuss what they wanted to have each edition. We did 4 editions that year. And the first one was kind of getting to know you, getting to know your state. And the whole role was put into the students' hands. As we got as a class, they would brainstorm ideas, different types of writing, and often these kids would dream up an idea of something they wanted to publish, and they didn't know there would be a tool that existed that would actually do that. And so I would go and search and with my PLN, and I would find a tool that would work to make those kids' dreams a reality. And then what I would do is once the kids kind of designed their ideas and their plans, then I would facilitate their learning and guide them into meeting the state standards for writing.
It's from Alabama.
Now, Kevin, did you guys all design this, or was that by your teacher?
We all designed it.
You all designed it? Okay.
On the first one, we didn't really know, so our teacher posted it.
Right.
But after, we got used to
So is it a wiki? Is that?
Yes.
Oh, okay, it is. All right.
And what's that thing is an op-ed, opinion editorial, and it's a writing tool. And the first one describes how if you throw chemicals out on your lawn or something, it can get into the water system and destroy anything that's living in the environment. Beside it, its mascot was created out of recycled pieces of art, and it was stored in the second grade classroom and 3 of our 5th graders. And her name is Rosa Cycle. PSA is the public service announcements, and we make an audacity to record our voices, and I'm just going to play you one. It talks about saving the nature and ending water or any oceans. I don't know if you can hear it, but a girl describing how she wants to save the coral reef because there's a lot of them being destroyed because people are like scuba diving and stepping on them and killing them.
Many people that visited the presentation commented on how confident and relaxed the students seemed when they were speaking. We did start practicing having them speak in January before we presented in June. But what I found is the more we practiced, the more they wanted to add to their presentation because it really was about them. This is their story. This is not my story. This is not our school's story. This is their individual stories. And so they knew that they had been given this huge honor to be able to go and represent, and they took it very seriously. They called this their business trip because they knew they were going there to conduct business. They were there at the business of their learning, and they wanted to share it with everyone. And people would stop them even in restaurants and ask them, why are you there? And the students would look them right in the eye, and they would explain why we were there. They could go on and on and on. If you ask questions, they knew the answers, and they knew the answers because this was something they felt passionate about. They valued what we had done, and they wanted as many people to hear what they had to say as would listen.
It's all dirty, and they thought that they could decide to have a green day and pick up the whole place. When you have the time, you can go to the storyjumper.com.
So you went to storyjumper.com. Was that the one that was called you were talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
We made our own story. It's very free. It's free, easy to use.
Oh, so you make your book and
You make your book.
Yes, you can make your own book and order your own book.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Like you created it, you can just keep it there.
And then you made all those pictures on there? Or do they come already made and you write the story?
No, you can put any pieces that you want inside your own story. Little kids can even do the story jumper.
That's pretty cool. That's what I
Never heard that. So, but you don't have to purchase a book. You can.
We have a very large Hispanic population, and when the school year started, I had several students who really were challenged as to be able to complete, do a complete sentence, write a complete sentence, read. And as the school year began, what I found was that many of these students did not want to leave our classroom and leave the learning activities in which we were engaged in order to go and work with the resource teacher. And I spoke with her, and we decided, as long as they were making academic progress, then we could continue to do that, and she would just serve as a resource. So to see these students who are very hesitant to write or speak where anyone could hear them, and then to watch them through technology to gain that confidence, to gain that fluency, to where they could very easily communicate not only to the peers that they're working with through the Coast to Coast Chronicles, but also they would have the ability to travel and speak at a professional conference where they're not speaking to peers, they're speaking to adults, they're speaking to educators from around the world. It was very rewarding to see these students and see where they had come in just 9 months through the use of this technology and the way that we've run our class, with the students making the decisions about what they want to learn within a certain topic and how they want to publish it.
It was getting down to the end of the year, so we just decided that we had time for one more edition.
Okay.
And this edition was on adventures and inventions.
I've never done it, but I've heard of it.
After they had to create this awesome homepage. It just gives you a bunch of people that invented some very important things that we have right now in the modern day.
There's a homepage.
They have a bunch of different awesome pages, but I'm just going to show you the Alabama page.
Okay. I wonder why.
And this one we have short science fiction stories.
I love science fiction.
Is about you sketch that man's how about kids make hoverboards and somebody actually goes and steals them and they're trying to figure out who stole them.
Oh dear.
Now this is one of my favorites if you're a really big coffee fan. If you go to Chick-fil-A, you know how you want coffee sometimes on Sunday and Chick-fil-A is closed. Well, you have a coffee maker inside your car. Oh. So you have over 15 different flavors and students just go on and this is auto coffee, so it goes in your car, so you won't have to go about spending money, just spending money all day.
So how many cups of coffee does it take you to pay for the machine?
You get as much as you want.
Oh, okay.
I included my students in the presentation at ISTE because really what we do in our classroom is about the students. It's about their choices, giving them the technology tools to actually follow the path of learning that they choose, while I guide them into meeting the state standards. And it means so much more when a 10-year-old can explain to you what they do in the classroom and what they enjoyed and why. And when you hear their responses and they're not just, it was fun, although they did have fun, they can explain how, they got to come up with the idea of how to do a project, then learn how to do a new tool, to impart knowledge not just, to the people in our class, but the 200 other students that they were working with. They took on the role not just of student and of learner, but also of teacher. And for the students, it gave them the opportunity to have their voices heard, because so often I feel like in education, it's all about what the teachers have to say, and really what's important is what the students have to say about their learning.